Hello friends, my name is Smitha Krishnan and I'm a Mohiniyattam dancer from Kerala, India. This is the second part of a two-part tutorial for stage makeup, not only for Mohiniyattam but pretty much any classical dance form from South India. In the first part, I covered in detail the steps for the eyes and eyebrows, so this part will focus more on the rest of the face. Keep watching! In the first part of my tutorial, I had moisturized and primed my face well. Now I'm using my everyday foundation by MakeupForever in the shade Y365. I use this more as a primer and will continue to build on it as I contour my face. I use this foundation even for my daily use and really like the yellow undertone, which goes well with my skin tone. As you can see, I'm using my favorite beauty blender from Sephora and I'm covering my face and neck pretty evenly. Next, I'm using a foundation brush to even out any patches that my beauty blender did not get. Moving on to contouring, I use Age Rewind by Maybelline. For the lighter shade, I generally use the shade Nude. You can definitely go lighter or darker based on your skin tone. For stage wear, I'd recommend going about 2 shades lighter than your natural skin tone. But not too light, because then your face will just look ashy and unnatural. Basically, with the lighter color, you want to go over the areas under your eyes, cheekbones, the bridge of your nose, forehead, chin, and jawline. Then, with the darker color, you give the illusion of sunken cheeks by drawing a line between your ear and the ends of your mouth. And here, I'm using the shade Tan, also by Maybelline. I also use the same dark color along my jawline, and this is a way I use to define my chin. I generally have a pretty round face, and this technique really helps to lengthen my face. I'm also using the same dark color to define my nose and lengthen it, and along my hairline to give a nice 3D effect. Then I go back with my beauty blender and blend those shades really well to make sure it looks natural. Here, with a much smaller tip blending brush, I go in and blend those areas that are difficult to get with the beauty blender. This is by far one of my favorite products, which is a setting powder by KatVonD. It's actually a powder foundation in the shade 53, but for dance I use it as a setting powder. And I'm packing on this color in all the areas where I use the lighter contour shade. For the darker shade, I'm using this matte bronzer by NYX and using an angled brush, again to go over any of the darker contoured areas. I'm using that same darker color also along the sides of my nose, but just using my finger in this case because it's easier. And then I'm going back in with my smaller blending brush and just blending those shades in. Finally, I go in with my dense buffing brush and just make sure everything is blended in nicely and looks natural. For the blush, I use this combo palette named Panic by NARS. I initially bought this because of the deep peach shade and also the pink shade, which are great eyeshadow colors as well. However, I don't recommend this product because it's not very pigmented and you really want to use pigmented products so that the colors pop on stage. Finally, I finish off the look with my Becca highlighter. I use a highlighter to highlight my cheekbones, nose, forehead, and chin. For the lips, I use my new favorite liquid lipstick, also by KatVonD, in the shade Bachelorette, which is a deep pinkish red. It has amazing staying power and is great for long wear on stage. The one step I missed here is not using a lip pencil to outline my lips, which I do highly recommend. My new favorite lip pencil is also by NARS and is in the shade Lanikai and is a velvet lip liner which is really smooth and beautiful. Now for the finishing touches, a red potta or bindi. For Mohiniyattam, you finish the look with a yellow line above the bindi and a white shorter line below the bindi. This represents a kuri, which is sandalwood paste worn on the forehead by temple goers in Kerala. You can use any body paint for this, or even the washable kids paint by Crayola for this effect. I personally also like to finish off the look with a black dot below the white line, and this black dot on the chin is completely optional and you can just use a black liquid liner to do this. To make sure my makeup lasts long, I use this makeup setting spray by Urban Decay and spray it all over my face. And last but not the least, I'm attaching my fake lashes. I always use glue when I use lashes for stage makeup, and this is to make sure they stay put even if I'm on stage for a long time and I sweat a lot. As I attach the lashes, I make sure they are as close as possible to the upper waterline. Now I'm going in with my mascara, which is by Maybelline, and just making sure I blend my natural lashes with the fake ones. While the matte look for lips looks just fine on stage, in this case I went over the lips with the liquid liner by NARS in the color Priscilla. And that's the final look. I've listed all the products used in this video under description. If you did like this tutorial, please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to the Mohini channel.